since COVID, there was a massive, my little bit of background going back. One of my big agencies I worked at for 6 years was Burrell, which is part of the Publicis network. I've also worked at Uniworld Group, Fluent 360, Lapis, different multicultural agencies. So I was always staying on top of multiculturalism. And of course, in the past 4 or 5 years, it has become a big catchword. I know a lot of people are checkboxing and hiring multicultural, but the importance of that is very palpable. I mean, especially with Gen Z now, for them, it is not multicultural; it is unicultural. They believe in one world and one uniculture, right? So, yes, you have to be well versed in that if you're a brand or if you're an agency. So that's something. But I also have noticed, though, after like an initial tick up in hiring more diversity based clients and creatives and staff, people have backed off a little bit over the last year. So I still not know where it's going to go, but I have noticed a downtick in hiring. So I don't want it to be just a checkboxing thing where people did it for a while and it's gone away. But in terms of internationally, yeah, I have noticed that people are much more, malleable now with knowing cultures and stuff. Like I said, I was in India for a month, the entire month of February. And just the fact that because of internet and stuff, the way people dressed and the way they talked and knowing about culture from what's happening in America or in England or in Poland, like I was so surprised that people are so cognizant of everything that's happening. Now, a lot of them have negativity about the entire world has gone, with politics. So I've seen a lot of nationalism has started across multiple countries, not just USA, right? India too is very nationalistic now, as well as Europe and you know like different countries. I'm not going to go into all of them, but it's become very nationalistic. So that has been a negative form because, like I said, the Gen Zs and the later millennials are much more malleable about cultures. But I feel like, yeah, it's they are looking for work. They're looking to be represented on when they see something on screen. They want to see themselves, not just a typical Caucasian couple, upper middle class. They want to see unusual people like themselves. But the biggest thing I don't like about that is a lot of times when I watch TV commercials now, it won't have a basic idea. They just have casting. It's almost like let's put a LGBTQ plus person along with a African American guy with a Chinese woman. Like it's such mishmash of people, and it looks so forced. Now I'm not saying there aren't people like that out there. There are couples like that, but it just you can see when I watch it, especially with my multicultural friends, they're like, "Oh God, they've checked every box with that commercial just to make sure," and it's like doesn't seem authentic. So again, for me, it's that authentic stories that need to come across, and people are looking for that, and people are cognizant when someone is just checkboxing. So again, I think brands should be very smart about it. I know they feel like they need to hit every target, but that's a big mistake. So your original question was like, what am I seeing with multicultural? I have seen like the world has gotten much more open to it. The next generation is so much more about sustainability, multiculturalism, uniworld. But I think brands are still on this, like they're not sure how far too deep. Because as you know, some brands have gone into it and gotten really dinged, especially if it wasn't authentic to their brands or, even starting with Budweiser, we'll not get into all that. But it's been very like traumatic for a lot of brands. So they're wary, so we need to help navigate that together. But as long as they have permission to play in certain spaces and it's authentic to their brand, they should be okay.